verbs with prepositions, or verb prep combinations. So, the first thing to note is that verbs can be paired with certain prepositions to take on different meaning. What you need to remember is what are the accusative prepositions, which ones are dative prepositions, and then pay very close attention to the two-way prepositions, the ones that can sometimes be accusative and sometimes dative. As a quick reminder, the basic accusative prepositions are durch, für, gegen, ohne, dative, aus, außer, bei, mit, nach, seit, von, zu, and the two-way prepositions an, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, zwischen. So, it's easy if they're a single case preposition. If it's an accusative case preposition, then it's going to be accusative. If it's dative, it's dative. But we have to watch out for the other things. So there are certain verb prep combos that have specific cases. And so those are what we're going to look at today. So here's one example that's a little easier. Danken für. So to thank for something. We already know that this is part of durch, für, gegen, ohne, so this is an accusative preposition. Therefore, it's going to take the object of that preposition will take the accusative case. So, for the flowers, für is accusative, and therefore this stays the accusative case. Now, one thing to note in the sentence below, Hans dankt dir für die Blumen, because danken is a dative verb, that's why we use the dative pronoun. So that was just kind of, oops, another thing to think about. Now, what about one that's always dative? So, fragen nach. Aus, außer, bei, mit, nach, seit, von, zu. Nach is a dative preposition. Therefore, this object of the preposition will take the dative case. Meine Mutti fragt mich manchmal nach meiner Note. So my mother asks me sometimes about my grade. Now, something to note is certainly that normally we think of nach meaning after, but this is a verb prep combo. So this verb and preposition together changes the meaning. So to ask about my grade. So die Note becomes der Note as it's taking the dative case. So what happens when we have these crazy two-way prepositions? These are the ones you just have to learn. So this example using an. An is a two-way preposition. An, auf, hinter, in, neben, über, unter, vor, zwischen. So this one in particular, denken an. This one always takes the accusative case. It just does. So to think of something, ich denke an meinen Bruder. So I think of my brother, taking the accusative case. On the other hand, you would have a verb such as arbeiten an. Arbeiten an, now an always takes the dative case. Ich arbeite an meinem Auto. Instead of das Auto becomes dative, meinem Auto, dem Auto. So when you have the two-way prepositions, you're just going to have to learn, kind of memorize and just use them and get used to them. So denken an, always accusative. Arbeiten an, always dative. So they both utilize the same preposition, but this verb prep combo is different than this verb prep combo.